Welcome, my beautiful soul family. We are returning to Circle today, our sacred space where we can speak on the amazing, sorry, I'm putting down my Palo Santo, where the stories that we can invoke today of the Earth Mothers and allow them to rise from the mists of the depths of time. Today, in this episode, we are calling in Pachamama, the ancient Earth Mother of the Andes, my peoples. We walk beside her barefoot and reverent as we remember what it means to live in sacred reciprocity and hand in hand with the land that made us. This isn't mythology. This is real medicine. This is real memory. I am Shannon, your high priestess of the Muse Goddess Botanica, and you've stepped into a sacred fire of Earth Mother series that I've created. So, Asheo, blessed be, Aho, and Bendiciones as we get into this. Hi, everybody. Oh, what a day, huh? Already got like stuff all over my shirt. Goodness, goodness, goodness. So today I want to talk about the spirit of Pachamama and who she is truly. Last week we talked about Otabe, the Earth Mother of the Caribbeans and the northern part of South America. And today I want to speak about Pachamama. And Pachamama, she covers um, down through the Andes, and so we'll get into that throughout Chile and Peru. So we'll get into all that. Pachamama isn't just a symbol. For us, she is a living deity. She breathes, she sheds her skin, she is constantly evolving. And she was also honored way before colonialization happened, long before borders tried to claim, the mountain area of this region. She is time, she is rhythm, she is the stillness between that moment when we inhale and exhale. So, in the Andean cosmology, Pachamama is one of the primal divine figures, divine forces. She is the female life force of the earth. Her partner, Intuit, the sun, and she together are the natural and spiritual balance. So again, the yin and the yang, male and female, feminine, masculine. And so here's a little bit of for me. I remember sitting in silence one day, feeling just like completely like cracked open and open. I had been seeing visions of like the mountains breathing themselves, like the land itself was alive and exhaling, like this. And to me, like the message was super clear, you know, speak to her, talk to her. She remembers who you are. And as I sat there, I remember that I was feeling that connectedness that felt so old, so beyond what we have written down in time. So I realized that that's Pachamama. She's everything. She's everywhere. And she showed me that we do not need our temples in order to connect. They're nice, they're pretty, but we don't need them. We just need to be present. Um, so how does she work into today? How do we bring Pachamama into the modern world that is today? Um, and this is where we start to get a little bit into the weeds a little bit, shall I say? Because Western world teaches us that the land that we walk on, that it's an object, something we can own, something to be mined, bought, sold. But in the Andean world, the land is a being, a presence, a energy, life. And even now, indigenous people in Peru, Bolivia, Chile, they gather and make offerings to Pachamama during agricultural festivals where they do these giant, huge festivals, and they have this a practice called despacho. And I do these. These are something I do during different turns of the seasons. Um, I do a, a annual, biannual, monthly, however you want to see it, however I feel I need to do it, despacho. And these are offerings, these are burned offerings. And these rituals are not, they're not for show. This is why I don't post them. They are my survival, my who I am. And they know that neglecting her, and I say her, I mean the her in the whole, leads to the imbalance that we see right now. It is growing fast and furious. It is a sickness, a societal breakdown is what we are seeing. And we will get a lot of that this week. This week, mark my words, my beautiful family, this week is going to be one that tries us. It is not going to just try us in our local communities within people that we are close to because of the type of belief systems that we have, but it's going to be forced upon us down our throats. Confirmations. And so we need to today build a bridge between us, the spiritual practitioners, the magical people, the witches. We need to really come together within our practice and really honor that, because we are seeing the results of what has happened when you forget her. You get food shortages, you get wildfires, you get pandemics, you get floods, you get earthquakes, you get war. And Pachamama, she's not doing this to punish us. She is trying to show us that we need to wake up, like almost as if she's like the mom that wants to just, just stop, wake up. So if you're feeling that too, one of the things that you can do is a beautiful walk with Pachamama, walking in nature, honoring her, giving her an offering if you can, something in the more traditional way of maybe coca leaves or corn, grain, beans, seeds, herbs, something of your own garden, something of your own hand that you helped continuously grow, offering her small pieces of that. Um, Something else, when you're drinking your coffee, you're having your morning tea, you're having your hot water in the morning, you're drinking your water and lemon juice, or however your morning beverage is, honoring her with that simply by having that moment and honoring her for what she has given you will help you bring in that gentleness into your world. Um, you could take if like I was speaking of a despacho. So for me, what is a despacho? Despacho is where I take herbs, um, spell remnants, leftovers. So everybody or anybody, if you do any kind of spiritual work with herbs and you have them that spill out over your desk, well, I take those and I collect those and I keep them in a little jar or a little box. And depending on if it's like right now, we're coming on the shift of into summer, right? And we also have a lot of things going on right now where we're in this spring, this blossom, this blooming. And so I can take all of these things that are like food, flower, prayers, different things that have been written, wrap them in a newspaper or a piece of cloth. Under this full moon energy right now is a really good time to do that. And, putting your intention into that bundle, and you can either bury it or burn it, depending on how you are um, a, a practitioner of. If you're burying it, one of the things that you're going to put into that is as you're putting it into the ground, just thank you for holding me. Thank you for feeding me. Thank you for holding me and not letting me fall or float away. Thank you for keeping me grounded. Thank you for letting me return to this practice again. And you can do those while you're burning your despacho or you're burying it. Another thing you can do is making sure you're having your daily connection. When you wake up in the morning and your feet are still just barely touching the ground, allow yourself that moment to thank Pachamama, to bring her into this world and honoring her for allowing you to place your feet on that ground at that moment. And maybe just listen in to the pulse between you and the earth beneath you. Maybe even as you're brushing your teeth, recite a song in your head like Pachamama, Pachamama, thank you, Pachamama, right? Um, Let it be something that comes from your bones, from your breath, from your being, and just really bring it into that whole practice of just when you're brushing your teeth, right? So a really great invocation spell that you can do is simple. This is again just verbally vocalizing that energy flow. Great mother of the earth and bone, of stone and song. Pachamama, I give you this breath, this heart, this day. Hold me as I walk, guide me as I rise, and remember me always, and remind me always. Wow, simple. Simple. Took seconds. Seconds. So I want to talk a little bit about why she matters so much right now. Why these Earth Mothers right now are so important. It's because the feminine divine is rising. At this very time, the Earth Mothers are waking up, all of them. And it's not just on this planet, but it is this huge portal that is aligning all together and opening up all these little doorways. And their spirit, specifically Pachamama, because this is the Mother Earth that we are on, is becoming louder. Louder than the noises of the media. This is why we have the 2 a.m. club, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. clubs. It's louder than that. It's louder than the lies of the politicians as they kiss the ring of this asshole. This is a primordial call to her daughters, those with dirt in their veins, those with wombs attuned to the moon's cycle, and those who remember. See, sisters, right now, this is the time that you need to be aligning with your chakras, aligning with the earth energy, making sure that you're staying grounded. Right here, your feet are firmly down. This will help you to protect your nervous system through this. Okay. I want you to begin to listen more to the land than the news and the social medias. Even though it means not listening to me, that's okay. You need to be making decisions not from panic, but from earth wisdom. And for those that you are listening, if you've been feeling that call to maybe dig in the dirt, plant something new, maybe just lay your body down on the ground and even cry, because I know that there's a lot of that energy feelings coming up. Then do that. Know that you're not going crazy. This is your ancient self remembering how to come home. Welcome home, sister. So something else that you need to be doing is sovereign actions in her name. So what is these episodes have been about? All of my episodes. It's been about reclaiming. It's also about sacred activations and using your own spiritual strengths. And so one of the things that you want to think about is, how do you act with her energy? How do you work with that? Well, you can support Indigenous-led land movements. You can commit yourself to sustainable practices, not for social media, but for as sacred ritual. You want to protect your sacred spaces with stones, plants, ancestral offerings. And remember, your spiritual altar should look like a forest, not a showroom. I literally had an attack come in, hit one of my spiritual jars, and caused a flame to bounce from my altar, and nothing burned, even though my altar was full of plant matter, dry plant matter at that. Nothing burned, nothing caught fire, because it's protection, and it didn't look pretty. It's not pretty. And so just really making sure that, you're having it look like a forest. Do me a favor, making sure that you're building your protections around anything that has a flame when you're doing it, while you're doing it. Also, keep an eye on them. Um, don't forget about them. Okay. So something that I want to do is a little bit of a personal reflection and a bridge. Okay. Right now is I would love for you to know that my very first spiritual avenue after coming into this, after being led by Hecate and really honing in on, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm starting to learn who my deities are and all that. The first one I learned of is Pachamama because of my Chilean blood. And so as I walk with Pachamama, I pour her magic into everything I touch. I visually feel that. Um, and this is also included into like all of my Muse Goddess Botanica products. Every oil I craft, every herb I blend, it is an extension of her. So again, shameless plug, if you're looking for ritual tools that are truly infused properly with the earth mothers, pure, intentional, and ancestral, go take a look at my products on Muse Goddess Botanica. Link is in the bio. Um, and this is what is the most sacred for me, and it brings that real. I don't have products out there that are mass produced. They are, every single one of them is custom made for you. So check those out. No pressure, no nothing. Um, one of the things that I want to close on is that this is really just the beginning of this series. There's so much more Earth Mothers to talk about. And these Earth Mothers are actually like lining up for me, like waiting to be remembered. They're very gracious. I really appreciate them for lining up the way that they have for me. They're like Atabe Pachamama. Well, yeah, yeah, okay. Uh-huh. So, one of the other things that is really important is that I teach you about all of these regions and their different earth mothers so that you can see and maybe connect with one. So next episode, we are going to do Kotiki. Okay, Kotiki is from down in the Brazilian areas, in the Amazonian areas. And she is the serpent skirt mother, the one who births and devours with love. And I love that there was a Laura Croft game through Xbox, probably PlayStation, all the other ones too, but I play Xbox. So she was actually in my Laura Croft adventures. They did a whole thing, and I've played it 3 or 4 times over. I absolutely love it just because of the who's are in it, the who's of who's in it. Um, so again, we're gonna meet her on our next episode. May you always, always walk with purpose and be grounded. May your offerings always be received. And may you remember that you are her child. We may be made of stone, sun, blood, bones, but we are hers. So until next time, sisters, aho, asheo, blessed be, and Berashones. Again, till next time, I'm your high priestess, Shannon, guiding you back to the earth and one mother at a time.